opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
I'm taking them right now. Right now. I called your name yesterday. Stand by, man. Hold on. Okay. Oh, boy. Y'all, we off and running already. Nah, this game is just getting started. I already done got called a chump. I mean, I ain't been in the studio 5 minutes and I already done got called a chump. So it's Winning Wednesday. I'm AJ Jones. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. And let me go to the phone line right off the bat. It is not the best. It is not the gooder. It is the greatest. Greatest, what's going on, man? Why I got to be a chump at the start of my show?
Hey, man, first of all, let me say this here. In the words of the 1963 Cassius Clay, I make no bones about loving Andre Jones. Hey, Dre, how you feel, man?
Hey, man, I feel with my hands. How about you, Doc?
Oh, man, everything is beautiful in its own way, man.
Yeah.
Look here, man. I don't want to be judgmental of stuff like that, man. But I just had this scenario I'd like to paint for you, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Man, you ever seen a man in his 40s and his 50s, and he's still riding his bicycle? That's his main source of transportation.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to judge, but everybody takes it different.
Yeah.
He still stay at home with his mama.
Yeah.
I mean, and you kind of scratching your head. I mean, what happened?
Yeah.
When I watch Kyle Kuzman and I watch Canavius Cardwell Pope,
yeah.
I scratch my head and I say, man, why are these guys in the NBA, man? I mean, it's like they got to go 0 for 5 in an urgent game to finally make one basket. I mean, no life, no sense of urgency. Everything got to be on LeBron and AD. I mean, but I just get sick when I see them two guys, Kyle Kuzman and Caldwell. But why are them guys in the NBA, brother? I'm listening, man.
Well,
I feel like throwing a few elbows too, brother.
I hear you loud and clear. I will say this. Let me tell you why Kyle Kuzma is in the NBA. He's 6'10". He's 6'10", 220 pounds, and every now and then, he can hit a three. Every now and then.
Yes, sir.
You cannot teach, you cannot coach, You cannot develop size. You just can't. I mean, ask the Rockets. Every time they try to go small ball, they play no ball.
All right, get to the other stiff.
Yeah, I look, on that one, I got no answers. Because, I mean, seriously, when I look at the shooting that the Lakers have, and I hate to do it, I got to do a quick break. Stay right there, Greatest. I'm coming right back to you. All right. Yeah, we off the rip. Lighten it up here on Winning Wednesday. Be right back, right after this, on the lunch break, on the legendary KYOK.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Days from the Days Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
You're going to do lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all, we back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. Let me go back to the phone line. Greatest is standing by. Greatest. I got no. I guess he could score. I guess he's a shooter. Contavious Caldwell Pope. Hold on, let me get to his stats. Greatest. I think he's got some skills and ability. He averages 33 minutes a game, 3.5 points, 3 rebounds, 1.5 assists. He averages a steal a game. He only commits 3.5 fouls. I mean, you know.
That's why they say it's a 12-man roster, and if one guy's not getting it done, see what somebody else can do, man. And the coach Vogel, I don't understand him. Okay.
Wait. Let me clarify that. That's his playoff average. Now in the regular season, he averaged 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. And then from 3, he shot 41%. That's why he's in the league. That's why he's out there. Now he ain't doing it yet. I don't know when he's gonna get it going, but right now, he's stanky fish, bro. He that fish you left out too long.
I'll put it like this. You remember this year? I'm gonna switch it up real quick before I come back to the Lakers and LeBron is the greatest. Okay, Jimmy Harden, all year long, he was supposedly injured. Kevin Durant, all year long, he was supposedly injured. All year long, Kyrie Irving had family problems. His sister wasn't act right. His niece wasn't act right during the regular season. But all of a sudden, miraculously, when it's money time and the playoffs are here, all them guys feeling good. They got a little pep in their step because they know the world is watching and it's time to shine. But that's why I don't understand about KCP and Kuzma. They still play like it's the 3rd game of the regular season and they say, well, we got 79 more games. We're going to finally get together. Man, they got together by now. They ain't going to get together, brother.
It's funny that you say that because somebody else broke that down to me that, Harden and Durant basically load managed all year under the guise of they were injured. And Kyrie Irving took personal time off under the guise that he had personal stuff to take care of. I don't know if I believe that one. That's a pretty strong conspiracy theory. But let me just say this. If it's true, oh well, they saved their dudes for the right time because right now is money time.
Hey man, Joe Harris, a wide open 30-footer is like a slam dunk to Dr. J. He don't miss. So on paper, Brooklyn should go all the way, but
I don't know. Hold on. What?
Say what?
There's a team that Brooklyn Brooklyn does not match up well with. And we saw it at the end of the year when they played this team a couple of times in about a week's time, and that's Milwaukee. And I'm just going to say this. If Milwaukee can shoot the three like they did in their last game and play like they did in the, without shooting the three, because Giannis Antetokounmpo had his way. Yeah. One thing you're not going to mistake Brooklyn for is a defensive juggernaut. What Brooklyn is doing is getting in passing lanes and stealing the ball. They're not manning up. They're not Duke slap the court and lock their man down. And if you don't lock Giannis down, if you don't lock Middleton down, if you don't lock DiVincenzo down, then guess what? Those guys will light you up either from the inside or the outside. And I got news for you. Brooklyn is going to wear itself out defensively, and watch those short shots start coming off front rim, back rim, and all that offensively. I'm just saying, 4 out of 7. 4 out of 7.
I'm going to have to see that to believe it, because to me, this is the greatest of all time. And there's on paper, Durant, Harden, Kyrie, and Harris, and then Schumann off the bench, and then Jeff, my man, he got a second win. Jeff, he played with LeBron. So, hey man, them guys, it's gonna be hard to deal with. But let me move on real quick, because I know Gina Fleming, my homegirl from Madison High School. So I said, hey, in the house, want to get in.
She is hilarious. Did you see how she woke up this morning? She woke up shady this morning.
And man, Gina, my girl, though, man, Gina, the one that saved my life by getting me on this vegan diet. Thank you, Gina, fries face.
Oh, that's what's up now. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Look here, though, man. Luka, he ain't scared of the brothers. Hey, man, Luka be talking, well, he don't really talk trash to Kawhi, because Kawhi not that kind of brother. But Luka, hey, man, he don't care nothing about you playing defense on him. He wants you to. Luka ain't scared of the brothers, man. What's your opinion of Doncic?
Luka shouldn't be scared of anybody. Luka got game. If they did a European version of Spike Lee's epic hit, He Got Game, Luka should play Jesus Shuttlesworth Ski overseas. I'm telling you, Luka can ball, and anybody who is still trying to cut down Luka's game needs to stop. Just needs to stop. That's like eating bad, bro. That's like just eating, bad. Because Luka can flat out ball, and it doesn't matter who's guarding him. It doesn't matter who they're playing or any of that. They got the claw. How come they didn't put the claw on Luka in the last couple of minutes of the game? They got Paul George. How come he didn't get on him in the last couple of minutes of the game? They got Rajon Rondo. How come he didn't get none in the last few minutes of the game? Luka is a problem.
Yes, sir. And great as Kawhi is, because Kawhi can't be stopped either. But Luka, man, he's the real deal. And the Clippers, I feel bad for Ty Lue, because he's gonna get the.
He better not. Greatest. He better not. He better not. Because if them dudes sit in that locker room, blame Ty Lue like they blame Doc Rivers, which we now know was not accurate, then all of them need to be let go. They need to kick Kawhi out the gym. They need to send Paul George somewhere. They need to send Rajon Rondo wherever you want to go. They got to get rid of him, Doc, because that right there is baby ball. That ain't basketball.
Well, I'm saying this in. I'm going, okay, they down 2 games and none to Dallas. Let's not forget the contributions of Porzingis, who got crossed up real bad last night by Paul George. Hardaway. Hey, man, that was going to be a problem for the Clippers. But I think Dallas just has a number.
Yeah, let me just say this. Let me say this, Greatest. If Dallas gets 1 at home, just 1, they don't even have to sweep at home, because it'll be over if they do. But if they get 1 at home, it's over.
Well, okay, we'll see how it goes. But like look at the real deal. Either Luka, Trae Young, Jay Lamont, I take Luka over both of them, because Luka, to me, he's got a complete game. They way more athletic than he is, but he's a very skilled player, and I love watching them play. But as usual, Dre, it's good hearing from you. We can't seem to get along, so we might as well get it on. I have a lot of speed. I have a lot of endurance. If you fool with me, Dre, you're going to need more health insurance. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Man, I'm telling you, always a good call when the greatest calls in. Caller of the year, 2018. All right, I gotta get my commercials back up here and get them on. But if you want to get in, y'all see how we doing it. It's Winning Wednesday. I know Willie Gibson listening and laughing. Willie, guess what I'm getting ready to do next? Guess what I'm getting ready to do next? I have got to. It's a must. I can wait no longer. I got to talk about Brad Stevens. And we'll do that when we come back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Winning Wednesday on the show.
Way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org. Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, T.D. Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK, 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, 259 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
When Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick went to the Capitol, he took an old friend, Jim Crow. Now old Jim Crow sits on Patrick's shoulder, calling the shots for Patrick and Governor Greg Abbott and Speaker Dave Phelan. They are pushing racist Jim Crow-style voting laws that steal our rights, prop up white supremacists, and tear down our democracy. They want to turn the clock back, way back to a century ago when Jim Crow and white supremacists controlled our lives, ruined our lives, took our lives. They say it's reform and ballot security, but we know better. It's discrimination and racist voter suppression. We won't go back. We won't let Dan Patrick and the racists he walks with steal our votes and destroy our country. Call 512-463-0001. Tell Dan Patrick to get Jim Crow off his shoulder and end his racist attacks on Texas. Paid for by the Texas Justice and Education Fund.
It's the lunch break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. All new 92.3 FM, streaming live, KYOKradio.org. Don't forget, if you are checking out the show on my personal Facebook page, If you don't know the personal Facebook page, then don't worry about it. I'm not talking about you. But if you're watching via my personal Facebook page, that's going away this coming Tuesday. Not gonna do it no more. Locking it down. Gonna make my page private. Gonna delete about half the people that are my friends. Locking it back down. Only way you'll be able to view the show on social media for right now will be if you go to the Lunch Break Facebook page, the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show Facebook page, or the KYOK Radio Facebook page. Either one of those. Or you can check it out on YouTube. Just look for the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show on YouTube. Subscribe, and you can catch the show live that way. If you've been checking it out on AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming it live on kyokradio.org, stay right there. Nothing's going to change for you. Got some things in the works. Got a little Hulu coming up. Got a little Roku coming up. Trying to get Amazon Prime to get me in. It ain't easy for them. They like, say what again? You got how many subscribers? Yeah. Anyway, working on it. I got this song on Willie Gibson. It's called Spiritual by Donald Lawrence. And I got to go ahead and get spiritual about Brad Stevens. In fact, just for today, for this segment, I'm changing the show name from Winning Wednesday to Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda Wednesday. Brad Stevens and the Boston Celtics would have won last night if they had Jaylen Brown. If they had Jaylen Brown, they would have won last night. They would have some kind of way overcame the deficit of 22 points if they had Jaylen Brown. Yep, I believe it in my spirit. I believe it in my belly. I felt that in my belly that if the Boston Celtics had Jaylen Brown last night, let me pull up Jaylen Brown's stats. Jaylen Brown, regular season stats. 25 points a game. There you go. They win right there. If they get 25 from Jaylen Brown, they win 133 to 130. So on woulda, coulda, shoulda Wednesday, Brad Stevens would be credited with a win if they had Jaylen Brown last night. Without Jaylen Brown, they lost 130 to 108. And I am sorry. I know all eyes are on the young man, Jason Tatum, but Tate can't do it by himself. Last night, he had a tough night. 3 of 12 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, and he only scored 9 points, 4 rebounds, and had or depending upon where you grew up, a assist. Not a bunch of assists, but a assist. Man, I'm just saying, it ain't Brad Stevens' fault. It ain't Brad's fault. Jaylen wanted to be the man. Jason wanted to be the man. Guess what? You in the man's chair now. One sitting at the head of the table on one end. The other one is sitting at the head of the table on the other end. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Can't blame Kyrie now. Can't blame Kyrie. Can't blame Kyrie. You just got to realize that this is what basketball is all about. Sometimes when you need your best player, your other man, because you know they got two men. They had three. They really had about five because they had Kyrie, they had Gordon Hayward, they had what was my big man in the middle? Played in Atlanta forever. Willie, help me out. They had him, and they had Jaylen Brown, and they had Jason Tatum, and they had Kyrie, the earth is flat, Irving. Al Horford. They had Al Horford. They had a squad. Doc, on paper. On paper. Yeah, I wanted my voice to crack right there. On paper. They had the best squad in the East. But they didn't want Kyrie to be their big brother. They didn't want Kyrie to be the leader of the team. They wanted to be the leader of the team. Al Horford ain't for all that foolishness, so I was like, get me out of here. Gordon Hayward, you know, he's from Utah. Gordon wasn't about all that smoke. Gordon's like, yo, Mike, come get me, man. Mike, come get me. Let me be the man in Charlotte. He's out of there. And they shipped Kyrie off for, in essence, Kemba Walker. In essence, for Kemba Walker. Everybody talked about Marcus Smart, little Pitbull. What Pitbull do last night? Oh, he had 19. He balled out. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And let me go ahead. Hold on. Where's my song? Where's my spiritual song? Hold on. Where is that at? Hold on. Let me get spiritual for a second. Where's my song? There it is. And your boy Brad Stevens had one job. Brad Stevens had one job back when they had the squad. Al Horford, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving. I think they had them one of them smart. Well, they had Marcus Smart, but they had one of those twins, Morris boys too, didn't they? Morris men. They had a squad, and Brad Stevens had one job: coach them up, Doc. Coach them up, make them get along for 48 minutes. That's all you got to do. That's your job. We pay you to do that right there. Make this one work with that one, work with that one, work with that one, work with that. That was your one job, and he could not do it. And that's why I say, when it's the players, what do we say? Oh, you get paid a lot of money. Just shut up and play. You got to be happy and shut up and play. Just quarterback, just running back, just do this, just do that. But when the coach don't do his job, for some reason we find excuses. Well, Kyrie was hard to coach. Okay, you the coach. Coach, your job just got a little harder, but you make a lot of money to do your job. Oh, well, Al Horford don't want to be here no more. Okay. You the coach. Figure it out. Bruh, he ain't had difficult players before now. All them kids in college wasn't happy. Y'all said he was the wonderkind. He was the kid that was smarter than everybody else. Y'all said he was the next best thing to Pat Riley, next best thing to Phil Jackson, next best thing to Eric Spoelstra, Steve Kerr. It ain't but a handful of coaches that can coach strong, alpha male. If I ain't a superstar in the league, I'm at least a superstar on this team, personalities, and make it work. And I just named them. Pat Riley, Phil Jackson. I'm thinking. Eric Spoelstra, got to give him some. Steve Kerr, got to give him some. Steve made it work. And I'm going to throw another name in there. Y'all ain't got to like it or not. Doc Rivers. Because coaching that team in Boston, wasn't easy. But Doc made it work. They got a chip and they got back to another finals. Let me go to the phone line. I ain't done with him yet. I'm coming back on Brad in a minute. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who this?
Willie.
Come on, Willie. Come on, get in here.
I want to ask this. When did Danny Ainge catch on this?
You know what? And it's funny you say that, because let me go to my personal Facebook page that was about to be more personal than it was before. My cousin, who coached basketball and played basketball, not in the NBA though, not in the NBA. He and I had a discussion at 9:00 last night on Facebook, and here we go. I want to kind of read some of the thread. So he posted, Boston needs guards. And me and JoJo White said, Boston needs a new head coach. And he responded back to me, you can only coach whatever the GM gives you. This team is poorly constructed. He was coming after Danny Ainge.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Because look at it. Let's take one personnel move. You had Terry Rozier, the core nucleus, his name, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. You had Terry Rozier. That playoff series against Cleveland, Terry Rozier played well. What did Danny Ainge do?
When got Kemba Walker.
When got Kemba Walker for more than twice the money.
It's Kemba Walker.
Shot. And what's Kemba doing?
Trying to ball with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and stay out of trouble because he saw what they did to the last point guard they had.
So you had Terry Rozier for $60 million. You didn't really give him that, but you gave Kemba $140. And let me preface this by saying I am not athletes make too much. Get your money, young man. You pay time for everybody maximizing their earning potential. I am. This does not mean that you make too much money. I'm just looking at the pure economic situation and the team as constructed. You had a core group that could have grown together, and you chose to let Terry Rozier go to bring in Kemba Walker. And what's that done? That's not Brian Stevens. That's Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge had all those picks that he just knew he sold everybody. I'm getting Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was being great. Anthony Davis didn't come. Well, DeMarcus Cousins. He didn't come. Okay, now where's all those picks at? It's collected to go get these free agents that nobody came to Boston. That's not Brian Stevens. That's Danny Ainge.
All right, so what did Danny Ainge do to you, man? Because you seem to be in on Danny. Tell me slowly. Take your time, breathe. What did he do to you?
Let's go back. Tell me what Brian Stevens did.
You don't answer a question with a question. I got mine in first this time. I'm just saying, man, listen. I'm just saying that your boy has the job to coach up whatever he's given. I mean, why? And I'm kind of on like the Tim Tebow quarterback effect. Why do you have to give a guy everything he needs for him to be successful? You mean to tell me he couldn't win a chip with that roster that they had? You telling me he couldn't compete in the East minus LeBron James with that roster that he had?
I think what did we just say? Those dudes were young. Jason Tatum is just now 22 years old.
Uh-oh.
Just now.
Uh-oh.
Just now.
Mm-hmm.
22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going back 3 years? 2 years? I can't. I'm not saying he's faultless, but at the same time,
wait a minute. Hold on. I think we got a breakthrough. Say what you said at the end of that last sentence. Say that again.
But Danny Ainge?
Oh, no. Before that.
He's faultless. He's not faultless. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, now breathe. Hold on. Let it marinate. Let's stay right there for a second. So what you're saying is part of the problem is with who?
I would say part of it is with Brad Stevens. However, the preponderance, the majority, is with the constructor of the team. Your general
I want that young man to get whatever he needs, because poor little tink, he can't even get out of bed right without what he needs. What he need, Willie?
What did you say, guard? Who's the big in Boston? We're talking who it was, Aaron Mays.
Yeah, it's that young dude. It's hold on, let me get over here. It's that
right there. Stop that. That's right there. Hold on.
Williams is really the big. They start Tristan Thompson, but Williams gets the better part of the sub stuff. Let me see, how many minutes does Williams play? Williams played 16 minutes.
You got two backup power. Okay.
They had Horford, they had Hayward, and they still couldn't. And they had one of the Mars fellas, and they still couldn't get it done. What does he need? Oh, hold on. Greatest just knocked you out. They had Jay Crowder too. Bro, they had a squad.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Stay right there. Let me take a quick break. I'll be right back. Willie Gibson right after this.
Your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19. Pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number, 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
In Jesus Christ, we are victors and not victims. We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. We depend on God alone and not the world systems. UCA is a nonprofit, faith-based organization that is committed to restoring, promoting, and protecting America's traditional values of God, family, and country in urban areas. We desire to empower, educate, shape, and mold the minds of future generations. Join our mission at www.urbconusa.org. All donations are tax deductible. This is Sean Scott, co-founder of Urban Conservatives of America. God bless.
It's the lunch break on KYOK.
I had to go over to the nation's capital. I had to pull out Howard University. Head buster. Because it's a head buster, it's a head scratcher. I can't figure it out. What do we need to give Boston now for little bitty Brad Stevens to be able to do what he's paid handsomely well to do? Good gosh, do we need to dust off number 23 from Chicago? Do we need to go back to the last dance and pull out some of them cats? What do we need to do? All right, I'm sorry. Hey, Willie, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I told you I was going in on him today, man. I can't let it sit. You get beat 130 to 108. Only thing I can say, if they had it woulda, coulda, shoulda. If they would have had Jaylen Brown, they coulda and shoulda won last night. That's all I got.
I don't say this. Before this season, 3 of the last 4 years, Brad Stevens coached the team to the Eastern Conference Finals. They lost it. Let's look at the loss. 2016, 2017, Boston lost the Eastern Conference Finals. They lost to, with the final strip on the line, the Cleveland Cavaliers. With LeBron. So you lost to LeBron, the Eastern Conference Finals. Lost to LeBron?
All right, let's be real now. They lost to LeBron because of coach. Coach let that young team go on a 3-point shooting, not barrage, but mirage, because they ain't hit none of them. Unlike the likes we've seen since the Rockets went 0 for 27. And all they needed was some tools to slow the momentum that Cleveland, they had Cleveland on the ropes, and coach wouldn't even call a timeout and say, yo, get the ball in the basket, drive to the line, get to the foul line, something. Come on, man.
Okay. So 2016, that's the Eastern Conference Finals. 2, eventual champion Toronto Raptors. So you lost to the champs in the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay.
When they gonna be the champs, though? When they gonna be the champs? With all that squad, when they gonna be the champs? Question.
Well, what squad? What squad do they have?
The squad they had before, the squad they had before this squad that they got now. That, you know, I told Todd wherever he may be. Todd, I hope your witness protection program is going well. I told Todd Brad Stevens has a disease called players too good-itis. When the players are too good, he cannot see his way to coaching them the way they're supposed to be coached. So you got to give him some good players and some marginal players so he can feel good about himself. And he got that right now. I don't think he know what to do with it.
Like I said, he's not won't listen at the same time. Daddy Ain's got to get some of this smoke, bro. There's no way. There's no way. And for everybody that's calling for Brad Stevens' job, I'm not an advocate for calling anybody's job. I don't do that. However, I will say that I would not be surprised if Daddy Ain's does not return.
And listen, maybe that's what you do, Willie. Maybe that's what you do. Maybe you let Danny Ainge go. Maybe you let Brad go, because sometimes dudes get married to the wrong person. It happened to Marvin Lewis in Cincinnati. He married himself to Andy Dalton, and Andy Dalton wasn't the same quarterback without A.J. Green. And sure enough, it cost both of them their jobs. So if that's the case, Danny Ainge is in Boston Hall of Fame, all that. But I'm just telling you, man, you got to do something different at some point. And right now, they are wasting good talent. They are wasting these young men's primes of their career. There is no reason in the world why we should be talking about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown like we're talking about anybody else in the NBA.
No, you're right. But who else is that on that squad? That's my point. Danny Ainge done a outstanding job as running those 2 all-stars with talent. He has. Robert Williams. Marcus Smart.
Everybody said he was the bulldog. Everybody said he was the pit bull. Pit bull, that's what they called him, the pit bull.
Well.
Or was it the Rottweiler? I forget what they called him, but it was a dog, and he could bite, and he could fight.
And you let Terry Rozier go, who was just with that court for his Temple Walker. It hasn't worked. And you pay, again, get your money. I'm not saying nobody, I'm not saying anyone should not get paid, but you look at this pure economic study. Terry Rozier got $60 million in Charlotte. Boston signed Kemba Walker for $1 million. That's your GM. That's not Brad Stevens. That's your GM.
Okay, well, get rid of Danny Ainge, and maybe Brad will be better. I just want Brad to be better. I feel bad when he can't sleep, I can't sleep.
Wow, that's okay.
I feel bad for him, man. He shouldn't have to go through life like that, man. He should get whatever he wants so he can be as great as everybody says he is. Okay, well, let's give Danny. Okay, if that's gonna make it better for Brad, give Danny some smoke. Give Danny some smoke. But baby, at some point you got to blow the smoke out of the gardens, because right now it's smoky. It's smoky, man.
That's it. Through the last 4 years, Eastern Conference Finals to LeBron James and the eventual champs.
All right, so let me ask you this: you're the owner. How much longer do you put up with this? Coming up short.
I got to get again. Danny Ainge got to go.
Okay.
You sold me on the goods of I need to gather and harvest these picks, because these picks are going to point me in the direction of Anthony Davis, and it doesn't work. That right there, that would have been it to me. Like, right, you had me sold on the fact that you acquire all these picks. It's not going to work. That would have been it for me. But now, you have to go.
All I'm saying is they got rid of Doc after 2 NBA Finals appearances. appearances, not NBA Eastern Conference appearances, NBA Finals appearances, and he had, three of the oldest dudes in the league with Paul and Kevin and Rajon. Imagine if he was still there with this squad. Imagine if Nate McMillan was there with this squad. Imagine if Ty Lue was there with this squad. And those names are not even available. I don't know who you bring in if you don't have Brad. But by the same token, who do you bring in as a general manager to fix things in Boston? Okay. That's a good name. I like that. That was a Willie Gibson right there. That has its own name to it. Yeah. I like that one. Okay. All right. I'm a hush.
What?
I can't say nothing else after that.
Show world, bro. I'm just a you show.
Nah, your side's a good name, bro.
No,
that's a good name.
No, I'm a caller on your show.
Nah, bro. You are a brother. You are the real deal. All right, look, if you stop liking me, I'm gonna keep loving you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. All right, bro. I ain't gonna be nice. Not today. I'm gonna be nice tomorrow. I gotta get him today.
Fair enough.
All right, so real quick though, before I get done getting him, Lakers and Phoenix last night. Everybody talking about Chris Paul. Here we go again. Chris Paul, playoffs hurt. I don't know how one dude gets so much flack for hustling his behind off. I mean, it is truly, what have you done for me lately? Chris Paul doesn't go out get hurt doing dumb stuff. He ain't on no motorcycle. He ain't backflipping in the backyard. He's hustling for you loose balls. He's diving, trying to make plays and what have you. He got hurt. Couldn't do a whole lot. 6 points last night. What happens in this series now that Chris Paul is questionably available?
Lakers cruise. I mean, I hate it for Chris Paul. He's a good dude. Top 5, top 3 leaders all time in league history. That's not hyperbole. I think that's real. I hate it for him. I really do. But they showed the graphic last night. The season before he arrives to a team, and then his first season with the team.
Yep.
And what he does, and what he means to this build squad.
Yep.
Phoenix they went 8-0 in the bubble last year and still didn't make the playoffs.
Yep.
He comes in and they're the number 2 seed. It probably should have been the number 1 seed had it not been for some posturing towards the end of the season.
Right.
But that's him.
Yeah.
That's him. So, you can't fault that man for anything other than, not even his body. He fell on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Come on. But yeah, I think that being said, Lakers cruise.
Yeah, and I felt like that. What's crazy is LeBron James fell on his shoulder as well, and took care of some business last night on the court. So 23 points, 9 assists on the court. Anthony Davis, everybody wanted to bury him. Look, see, this is why this team didn't want Anthony Davis anymore. Anthony Davis balled out last night.
And since you brought him up, I wasn't going to bring him up. Since you brought up LeBron, I'll say this: LeBron got ridiculed, castigated for getting poked in the eye and hitting a 35-foot game-winning shot in the playing game.
Right.
Jason Tatum got poked in the eye in the second half. Outstanding.
Yeah, we can leave that there because I don't understand the hate for LeBron James. I just don't understand it. On, off the court, politically, media, I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. He is everything that the American dream is supposed to be. That's all. I'll leave that there. But like you said, he's a whole different player when he doesn't have to play against a Chris Paul. So we'll see how that series goes. Last and certainly not least, Willie Gibson, broadcast journalist from Columbus, Ohio, joining us real quick on the show. The Dallas Mavericks and the LA Clippers. And Greatest was on earlier, and he said, man, he feels bad for Ty Lue because Ty Lue about to get that smoke. Ty Lue shouldn't even get a look. Ty Lue should be able to lead a room, and they blow up everything else behind him.
Oh, without question.
He's got y'all fooled, making y'all think he can play defense. He ain't guarding nobody.
Yeah. James had 44, 47. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's the clip. Because they talked about how you played defense on James Harden. He said, man, James had 44? Oh, 47? Oh, okay. Not bad. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to tell you, man, LA Clippers have to stop making excuses, bro. I mean, Kawhi got to look Paul George in the eye. Paul George got to look back. Everybody's got to look at Pat Bev. And I was a Pat Bev fan when he was here. I mean, you talk about, I loved everything about his game when he was here. Bruh's not getting it done over there in LA come playoff time. And Rondo can't do it by himself, man. He can't be playoff Rondo all the time by himself.
No, Kawhi is out of it. Kawhi is out of it.
Well, y'all better hope he comes to Boston. That's what you better hope. You better hope Kawhi decides to go back to the East Coast and get in Boston.
Kawhi stays in Toronto. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Ibaka stay. Does Gasol stay? I don't know. But Kawhi is out of there. He got 5 years, 1 night. Kawhi is out.
Well, here's the thing. What if Kawhi stays in the building, but just switches teams? Ooh.
That's something.
What old boy say, Mortimer? We're back. Willie Gibson, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, man.
Appreciate you. Will Gibson 7, Twitter, Instagram, the Will Knows Facebook page is Up and Running Podcast. Yet to come.
Yeah, man, I'm working on some different stuff myself, brother. I gotta move it around, man. Gotta move it around. Gotta keep it moving, as they say.
I do that big with you. That's it. I'm in your pocket. Trust.
All right, brother. You stay safe up there in Columbus. What's the weather like up there today?
Today it's about 81. 81's been, 85, 90. Then you finally turned that corner. Yeah, it's low. 81 right now.
Okay. Yeah, we 88 right now. 88 right now. We didn't have any rain today, but it's been raining like crazy around here, bro.
That's why I paused, because it's actually turning dark as I speak. It's actually getting ready to rain here, but I'll take that if it's 81. I don't mind.
All right, well, don't be out there in that pool. Y'all get 75 and y'all trying to jump in the pool and stuff like that. Like it's summertime.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's the heat wave in some months here in Columbus.
Bruh. All right, man. Stay safe. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate you as well.
All right, y'all. Willie Gibson, right here on the lunch break. Legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. Real quick, let me give you a quick sports update. We'll hit Sybil Wilkes on the other side of the top of the hour with what you need to know today. We'll do the long version because there's a lot going on in the world. Of course, yesterday was the anniversary of the murder of George Floyd, and his family was in the White House. But Sybil will tell you about that. James Harden in Brooklyn took a 2-0 lead on Boston, blowing them out 130-108. LeBron James and the Lakers tied it up with Chris Paul in Phoenix, 109-102. That series tied at 1 each. The Mavs are up 2 games to none on the Clippers after beating them 127-121. Game 3 is now a must-win game for the Clippers. That'll be Friday at 8:30.
1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, 822CS Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. We red. We red. We red. We red. I'll go to the house. I'll go to the house. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football. No. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? It's hot now. It's hot now. Let's go. It's hot. We red. I'll go to the house. I'll go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this trying to be the mind to be the football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. So much crying from that. He's a man. He can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I is. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your man don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We red. I'll go to the house. I'll go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Number 1. Black women continue forging historic paths this week. Following Tuesday's confirmation by the U.S. Senate, Attorney Kristen Clarke will become the first black woman to lead the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department. In addition, Judge Robin Ransom will become the first African-American woman to sit on the state of Missouri's highest court, following the Monday appointment of Missouri Governor Mark Parson. Number 2. This week, lawmakers in Texas approved a bill that will allow residents to carry handguns without licenses. Republican Governor Greg Abbott poised to sign the so-called permitless carry bill, which would grant gun ownership to people 21 and older beginning later this year. GOP lawmakers in the state say the law is needed because requiring a handgun license infringes on Texans' Second Amendment right. Law enforcement officials, gun control groups, and Democrats have opposed the bill, arguing that it would eliminate crucial safeguards from the gun buying process, endanger the public, and make police officers' jobs more dangerous. Number 3. Vaccine safety investigators are studying cases of heart muscle inflammation in young people in multiple countries who have recently received their second dose of one of the COVID-19 vaccines. According to the CDC, the disease known as myocarditis is rare given the number of vaccine doses that have been administered. Several dozen cases have been reported in the U.S. among adolescents, most of them males, and usually after the second dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. Number 4. NBA legend Dominique Wilkins has experienced discrimination at a restaurant in the city he represents, and now the establishment is apologizing. The 9-time NBA All-Star Dominique Wilkins, who played for the Atlanta Hawks, recently refused service at Le Ville Bouquet, an upscale French restaurant in Atlanta's Buckhead area. Mr. Wilkins claims staff told him that tables were unavailable, he needed a reservation, and his clothes were inappropriate for the restaurant's dress code policy. Since the incident, the restaurant posted and deleted a detailed dress code policy on Twitter and then sent an apology to Mr. Wilkins. Number 5. Many millennials are forgoing starter homes and instead buying art. In the last 2 years, 22 to 37-year-old adults bought almost half of the artwork priced at $1 million or more, according to a new art market report by Art Basel and UBS. The purchasing power of these young collectors helped to boost the global art market to the second highest level in a decade. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Not every battle is meant to be fought. Inhale that fresh oxygen. Exhale carbon dioxide.
Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with Stephen Hill as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Black Voters Matter, and the Salute Them Awards presented by Cafe Mocha. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
This is Jasmine Highsmith, and you're having Exotic Sports with your lunch here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, I needed that words of wisdom from Sybil Wilkes. Not every battle is yours to fight. Goodness gracious, I needed that. I needed that today. Anybody else needed that? I needed that. All right, so man, that I live in Texas, and our wonderful state legislature is amazing. I've been pretty good lately, so y'all indulge me for a minute. Imagine this. It is easier to carry a handgun once this legislation is signed than it is to vote. You don't need a license to carry a handgun after this legislation gets signed. But you're going to need like everything under the sun, including blood type, to be able to vote after they done signing that legislation that they got pending now. Let that sink in for a second. I'd rather you have a gun than vote. And somebody says, well, it's the Second Amendment. That's why there needs to be a voters' rights bill. You should not have one without the other. It's not a situation where you can only have one or the other. Voting is a right. Carrying a gun can be a right, but you shouldn't be able to do one, carry a gun, easier than you should get out and vote. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. You got to have an ID to vote, but you don't have to have a license to carry a gun. Woo! 2021. 2020 was something. 2021 said, yeah, hold my drink. I'll be right back. Let me show you how crazy this thing can get. All right. First hour, I was all on Brad Stevens and the Boston Celtics after that putrid performance last night. Jason Tatum, again, you learn tough lessons in life. Who else are they worried about on that Boston squad if you're Brooklyn? Who else are you worried about on that Boston squad? They got Marcus Smart led the team with 19. Tristan Thompson had 15 and 11. Fournier had 16. Walker had 17. They got 8 off the bench from Williams. And your star had 9. If that was LeBron James, that would be the lead story all day long on every sports network. LeBron James only had 9 in a 22-point blowout win, a blowout loss. But it's Brad in Boston, so it's no big deal. They'll bounce back. Oh, if they only had Jaylen Brown. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say it. The Clippers are officially in trouble. As I said to the greatest, if Dallas gets one at home over the next 2, it's over. Dallas is not LA. They are not going to blow a 3-1 lead with Luka, Porzingis, Hardaway Jr. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So I got my niece coming on the show on Friday. She's going to sit in with me the whole show, virtually, of course. And that's Valencia King from Real Talk Sports. I am Valencia King, going to sit in with me on Friday all day. And we're going to preview the Friday night games. Of course, the Mavericks with a chance to take a commanding 3-0 lead on the LA Clippers. And there were many talking heads that said that the Clippers were going to be the LA team to represent the West in the finals. Well, baby, they got a lot of work to do. It ain't over. It's not impossible. It ain't over. They got a lot of work to do. All right, let me take a quick break. I'll come back with more. Second hour of the lunch break underway on the legendary KYOK.
KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
You're listening to Shiloh Radio, the legendary KYOK 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM, where you will be encouraged, inspired, and ignited to reach your maximum potential in life of Jesus Christ with Shy.
In Jesus Christ, we are victors and not victims. We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. We depend on God alone and not the world systems. UCA is a nonprofit, faith-based organization that is committed to restoring, promoting, and protecting America's traditional values of God, family, and country in urban areas. We desire to empower, educate, shape, and mold the minds of future generations. Join our mission at www.urconUSA.org. All donations are tax deductible. This is Sean Scott, co-founder of Urban Conservatives of America. God bless.
The lunch break with KYOK.
Winston-Salem State University, 400 degrees. The Rams of Winston State's University. Yeah, I got to get with that. Come on. $400 degrees. All right, look, so let me get back to it real quick. Luka, 37 points. Kawhi Leonard went off for 41. But they got to do more than just let Kawhi Leonard go off. What the rest of the squad? You know, the one that everybody said was going to give the Mavericks some trouble. Box score last night for the Clippers. Kawhi had 41. Paul George had 28 and 12. But Morris had 9. Zubac had 2. Beverly had 3. Pat Bev had 3. Off the bench, Batum 9, 15 from Jackson. Ibaka had 2. Rondo had 4. And all Dallas did was ball out. So Dallas, 39 from Luka, 28 from Hardaway Jr., who was balling. I told y'all when they got him from New York, I said that was the X factor in the trade. Yeah, you got the unicorn in Porzingis, but Tim Hardaway Jr. was going to be the X factor, and it's starting to show. 28 in that playoff win, 20 from Porzingis, 13 from Keebler. They didn't even need Finney-Smith. He had 3, and then off the bench they got 9 from Brunson and Jay Rich. Cauley Stein, 6 and 6. Whatever the issue is, whatever the matchup is, whatever the chemistry is, Dallas seems like they are the better squad than the Clippers. And Friday night, 8:30 in Dallas, we'll see what's up. We'll see if the Clippers got hard. There's a young man that I follow on Twitter. And his handle is at JEOLMOZ2. Joel Maz 2. JEOLMOZ2. and his handles the voice of one. And he says he gets in trouble for calling the Clippers the paper clips. I like it, Doc. I get in trouble for talking about Brad Stevens, and he gets in trouble for calling the Clippers the paper clips. Yeah. I think I'm going to start broadcasting the show on Twitter via their platform. I think I'm going to do it. All right, so let's see. J. Cole is no longer playing basketball. And just like that, J. Cole has finished hooping. I got that from Rebecca. I follow her at Beckbeck8630. At Beckbeck8630. She dropped the news that J. Cole no longer playing basketball. I said, wait, what? She said, surprise, that's not his passion. Just something he wanted to try and can afford to do it. LOL. Got to hit her back. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad. Yep. All right, so I don't know, y'all. I don't know. These NBA playoffs are interesting to me. Interesting playoffs to me. I see the Lakers getting through. I see Brooklyn getting through. I see the Mavs getting through. Tonight, what do we got? Atlanta at New York. New York, if y'all want to keep that momentum going for your fans, you got to get one tonight. Don't go down 2-0 in Atlanta and then got to go to Atlanta. NBA players don't eat at that restaurant in Buckhead that turned Dominique Wilkins away. Talking about the dress code. When y'all go to Atlanta, don't eat there. And then you got Memphis at Utah. That's tonight at 9. So tonight you got Washington at Philly, 6 Central. Atlanta at Knicks, 6:30 Central. And Memphis at Utah, 9 Central. Ja Morant is my surprise for the playoffs. Ja Morant is my surprise for the playoffs. But once again, if we're gonna give a break to Brad Stevens, then we got to give a break to Quinn Snyder. He's been without Donovan Mitchell. And Michael Conley's been doing his work. And Rudy Gobert is not a high-volume scorer. But Utah's finding out the hard way. The best record in the regular season means nothing in the playoffs. Lester, the greatest, said that Spike Lee and the Knicks will win tonight. I know they're going to give Trae Young a lot of heat. They're going to boo him every time he touches the ball. But that ain't going to stop the ball from going in. That's not going to stop the ball from going in the basket. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Clint Capella didn't even go off in that first game. They still got the win. I'm just saying, man, Knicks got to get more out of R.J. Barrett. They got to get more out of Randall. They got to get more out of those guys, man, to help get them there. And I get it. First game jitters, first game back in the playoffs and forever. These are the young cats, the young guns getting them there. I get it. I'm going to say this, and a lot of people aren't going to agree with me. Given both teams have some relatively young players, it comes down to Tibbs versus McMillan. I give the edge to McMillan. If it comes down to coaching, X's and O's and adjustments and what have you, I give the edge. And notice I didn't say slight edge. Tibbs is a great coach. McMillan's better. I give the edge to McMillan. If it's close and they got to draw it up to get it, McMillan. So New York's got to let it not come down to that for me. For me, I'm not saying, but for me, New York's got to let it not come down to that. You ain't got to agree with me. That's not our opinion. That's my opinion. that Nate McMillan, is a better head coach than Tibbs. Tibbs is a great head coach. I liked him when in the other stops he's been. He's just old school. But Nate McMillan is one of them dudes that he just knows what he's doing. And I bet Indiana wishes they had him back right now. Good Lord. That dude they got up there. Oh, boy. Yeah, them cats look good on paper. Yep. They look good on paper. All right. Got to get ready to take another break. Come back. Let's talk some football. I really have tried not to do it a whole lot, but I got to talk about Deshaun Watson. I'll do it when we come back right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK, 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211, conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no-judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 a.m. and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
When Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick went to the Capitol, he took an old friend, Jim Crow. Now old Jim Crow sits on Patrick's shoulder, calling the shots for Patrick and Governor Greg Abbott and Speaker Dave Phelan. They are pushing racist Jim Crow-style voting laws that steal our rights, prop up white supremacists, and tear down our democracy. They want to turn the clock back, way back to a century ago when Jim Crow white supremacists controlled our lives, ruined our lives, took our lives. They say it's reform and ballot security, but we know better. It's discrimination and racist voter suppression. We won't go back. We won't let Dan Patrick and the racists he walks with steal our votes and destroy our country. Call 512-463-0001. Tell Dan Patrick to get Jim Crow off his shoulder and end his racist attacks on Texas. Paid for by the Texas Justice and Education Fund.
You're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Pretty soon, we're just going to be on the station Facebook page, KYOK Radio, or the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show Facebook page, or YouTube, the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show on YouTube. Look for either one of those, follow those, subscribe, and that way, if you're checking us out on social media, you won't miss us when we go live. If you're listening on AM 1140, 92.3 FM, or streaming live on kyokradio.org, nothing for you will change after this coming Tuesday. I'm trading my sorrows. Yes, I am, because I got to talk about Deshaun Watson. Published reports yesterday say that Deshaun Watson will not be deposed regarding any of the 22 civil cases of sexual assault filed against him by massage therapists. Will not be deposed before February 2022, I'm sorry. Me and my numbers. February 2022. In connection with the 22 massage therapists that have filed civil suits accusing Deshaun of sexual assault. Technically, given that news, Deshaun Watson could play this NFL season. Technically. If he were to go back to the Houston Texans and say, hey, wow, rough ride. Man, this offseason been something. I've had a chance to see the error of my ways. I want to stay right here. He could technically play this upcoming season. But that's not the case. Published reports yesterday and today say that Deshaun Watson still wants to be traded, still does not want to play ever again for the Houston Texans. In spite of all the off-field stuff going on, Deshaun wants out of Houston. So technically, if the Texans could pull off a reasonable trade with, a team where they could get value back from him, technically they could do that. And technically, Deshaun could play for somebody else this season. The third option is the Texans could release him outright. They could void his big contract that has not yet kicked in. He would go through waivers, probably would get picked up off of waivers, but if he cleared waivers, he'd be free to go to any team that he wanted to. Technically, he could play this season. So Deshaun could show up. Deshaun could be traded. Deshaun could be released and go to any team or be picked up over waivers. Technically. And play this season. Now, let's stop talking about technical stuff. Technicalities. And let's talk about reality. This is me talking. The NFL is not going to want Deshaun Watson on anybody's field this season with 22 lawsuits filed against him by women claiming sexual assault. Civil, criminal, it don't matter. They're not going to want him on the field. They have suffered too much damage by not properly handling issues concerning women. Domestic assault, domestic abuse, rape, sexual assault, you name it. The NFL has gotten a solid F+ in every one of those instances. Every one of them. This is one that the NFL cannot get wrong. There is no reason for them to get this one wrong. Roger Goodell cannot play favorites, so if New England wanted to get him, He cannot, shy away from suspending him because it's Robert Kraft. If he wanted to go to Dallas, he could not shy away because it was Jerry Jones. If he wanted to go to Jacksonville, he couldn't shy away because it's Shad Khan. He can't shy away because it's the Jet owner. He can't shy away because it's Pittsburgh. He cannot in any way get this one wrong. And that being said, the NFL, in my opinion, before the start of the training camp and the beginning of the season, is going to step in and suspend Deshaun Watson one way or another. When I say that, I mean they can put him on what's called the commissioner list, and they can keep him on that forever, just about. Or they can go with their listed guidelines for domestic violence, domestic assault, sexual assault. 6 games, 8 games, whatever. They can use a precedent set by other players. Antonio Brown, others. Ben Roethlisberger. Not talking race. Stop that. I'm not talking that. I'm talking precedents, and those are the closest situations. Times a few more in Deshaun Watson's case than theirs, but they can use those as precedents and come up with some form of, we're doing this many games based on, and because of the precedents that was set when we suspended Ben Roethlisberger, when we suspended Antonio Brown. In my opinion, Deshaun Watson will not see the field for any team in 2021 and 2022 for the 2021-2022 season. Somebody said, well, what does that mean? Next year, season 2? No, I'm saying the season comes to an end. The Super Bowl is played now, going to be played the second week in February. Deshaun Watson is not going to play in 2021 and from January, February of 2022. They will allow him to be deposed, see what happens with that situation. If it's settled, if all those cases get settled, I believe the NFL is still going to suspend Deshaun Watson for some period of time into the 2022-23 season. Because now you got the details of what happened under oath, unless they settle out of court. And then they might go with time served and the previous suspension or whatever the case may be. Again, all speculation. But this is one the NFL cannot get wrong. He can't play favorites. If Robert Kraft says, hey, we'll take him right now, can he play? Roger Goodell can't say, oh, yeah, we're only going to suspend him 4 games like we did Roethlisberger, or we're only going to suspend him 6 games like we did somebody else. Can't do that. I hate to say it. Again, I believe in innocent until proven guilty. I believe the victims of these crimes should be heard, have their day in court. But in the meantime, he's got to be taken off the field. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it for anybody. Nobody. Now, that being said, Houston Texans are, depending upon who you talk to, whose report you read, what have you, they're either going to be the worst team in the NFL or the second worst team behind the Detroit Lions. One of those 2 teams, Detroit or Houston, is going to be the worst team in the NFL, meaning one of those 2 teams is going to get the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft. The other one will probably get the number 2 pick, because finally the Texans, unless they do something dumb, Nick Caserio, will finally have their legitimate pick, their first-round pick. They finally done paid Miami off for getting Laramie Tunsil. What in the world have the Texans done that the football gods would be this unkind to them? In a year where you had how many quarterbacks go in the first round? The Texans don't have a first-round pick. In the year that possibly one maybe 2 quarterbacks will go in the first round, and neither one of them are really first-round grades, that's when the Texans get a first-round pick. So once again, the Texans will be stuck with trying to find a franchise quarterback in a year that there are no real franchise quarterbacks coming out. So they will have missed out on Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, the kid from BYU, Trey Lance, even Mac Jones. They will have missed out on all of those quarterbacks by a year because of how they handled their business before they got to this point. Texan fans, I feel sorry for you. I do. You don't deserve this. And you can be mad at me, AJ, you're hating again, Show me the lie. Show me the lie. After everything the Texans went through under Bill O'Brien, after everything the Texans went through under Brian Gaine, if you don't like Rick Smith, so be it. After everything the Texans went through under Rick Smith, after everything the Texans went under Tom Savage, after everything they went through under Ryan Mallett, Brian Hoyer, after everything they went through under you name it, they get to a point where they finally have the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick in the draft, and the best they can do is who? And I know what they're going to do. They're going to make Davis Mills the face of the franchise. And I'm sorry, Davis Mills, great young man, I'm sure. Great young man. Got into Stanford. I mean, that says a lot. Well, maybe it doesn't when you think about the Stanford swimmer that was out there raping people behind trash cans and stuff. Anyway, I digress. Davis Mills has only played started 11 games. And that's not even in one season. We don't know if Davis Mills is NFL ready. We don't know if he's ready to be the franchise quarterback. They will make him the face of the franchise. They will. I don't believe he's going to make people forget Deshaun Watson. Not by his play. And the Texans don't even have a dearth to draft from coming up in next year's draft because they missed it by a year. You don't have a Trevor Lawrence coming out this year. You don't have a Justin Fields coming out this year. You got a bunch of guys that you got to take a quarterback in the first. I think there's an unwritten rule like in baseball. You got to take at least 2 quarterbacks in the first round every year or something's wrong. And they're gonna. Doesn't mean they're going to be first round grades. Don't mean they're going to pan out. So that's my take. Texan fans, 281-453-1000. You can get on me if you want to. 281-453-1000. You can get on me if you want to. I will take it. But I just told you the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me, Texans. Cowboy fans, just the opposite. Just the opposite. Dak Prescott out there yesterday. Dak Prescott out there earlier today. And Dak Prescott talking about it says, there's still things that he's not allowed to do, but he feels like he can do it all. He feels like he was ready to go a week ago. Dak said earlier in this offseason that if he had to play in a game right then and there, he could. Cowboy fans, things are looking brighter for you. Don't mess it up. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Mama Jones, Sister Jones. Don't they have another brother? There's like an unnamed brother that's also involved. Dad Jones, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. In fact, speaking of, leave Julio Jones alone. Work with what you got. Don't try and go out there and get Julio. You're going to give up too much, and, it's going to be ugly. Speaking of Julio, Atlanta is reportedly mad about his phone call with Shannon Sharpe on the Fox show called Undisputed. You think What are you mad about, though? I mean, the dude wants out. And you know they're in trouble when the report says, and the coaches are really trying to talk him into staying. The coaches can't give more money. The coaches can't extend his deal. Need to be talking to the owner of the doggone new GM. All right, let me take a break. I'll be right back on the lunch break. Get ready to wrap it up not too long right after this on the legendary KYOK.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number, 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
The lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break, but let's see, I got to get something on. I know there was something I was supposed to play. I think it's this right here. Let me get it together. Come on, thing. You ever hit something on your phone and it's just like you didn't hit it? You hit it, but you don't. It don't do anything. That's what my phone does all the time.
In Jesus Christ, we are victors and not victims. We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. We depend on God alone and not the world systems. UCA is a nonprofit, faith-based organization that is committed to restoring, promoting, and protecting America's traditional values of God, family, and country in urban areas. We desire to empower, educate, shape, and mold the minds of future generations. Join our mission at www.urbtonusa.org. All donations are tax deductible. This is Sean Scott, co-founder of Urban Conservatives of America. God bless.
You're listening to Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all. There we go. Now we're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Let's see what Big Time Floyd is talking about. Big Time Floyd just hit me up. Let me see what he's talking about. All right, hold on. Let me get off of that. Pam Grier was born today. Pam Grier. Foxy Brown. Let's get Foxy Brown, Queen of Foxy Brown, all that. She was born today. Got to say happy birthday to her. All right, Big Time Floyd said, hello, AJ and the Breakers. Why is Chris Paul so injury prone in the playoffs? Is there any cure for the DraftKings virus? The Suns may need to call Dr. Fauci to get him back on the court ASAP. Big Time Floyd, you be killing them, man. You be killing them, Big Time Floyd. Why y'all hate so bad on the dudes that just be hustling out there and everything? And then y'all give Brad Stevens a break. Y'all give Jason Tatum a break. Jaylen Brown gets a break. Everybody gets a break, but Chris Paul, LeBron James. I mean, those two dudes, it's like they stole something and won't give it back. I don't understand y'all, man. What is it? Big Time Floyd, man. Hey, always appreciate you, though, man. Thanks for always tuning in to the show and all of that. Don't forget Big Time Floyd. Now, we're moving over to off my personal page, so be sure and follow me on the KYOK radio station page or the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show page or on YouTube, the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show on YouTube. Just subscribe, and you'll get a notification whenever the show comes live. Big shout out to Shalonda Dawkins. She's an avid golfer. Avid golf. She got me wanting to golf again. I used to hit them often, man. When I lived in Florida, I played daily. I lived right across from the Bay Meadows Golf Club in Jacksonville. And, man, I was on that course day. You get great rates in the twilight. Like if you can get a whole round in after 4 o'clock, baby, you get some great rates. Some courses do 4, some courses do 6. But if you can get your game going and roll, don't, willy-nilly out there, you can get some great rates. But man, I'm telling you, I don't play a lot here. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the humidity or whatever, but I played an awful lot in Florida, in Jacksonville and Tampa. Played some great courses as well. Played at the TPC, played there. But Shalonda Dawkins got me wanting to play again. She got me wanting to play again. In fact, Shalonda, if you're listening, there is a young lady. Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to find her. She is the longest driving woman, and she's a sister. I cannot find her name. Oh man, and I'm scrolling. I'm seeing if she's gonna pop up on my Instagram. Now, Willie Gibson, if you know that one, you the king, bro. You are the king. You are the king if you can find that one. She's the longest driving sister. I want to say her name is like something Morgan or Taylor Morgan or something like that. I can't think of it. I'm scrolling. I'm trying to find her. I just found her recently and started following her. And man, when I tell you she hits the ball a long way, she hits the ball like I want to when I grow up. Golf is one of those games that just drives me crazy, but it's addictive, and I love to play. One good shot off the tee or on the fairway, one good shot where you just nail it. Your swing is sweet and you follow through right, and that bad boy just is straight and long. That's what gets you coming back, because you believe that you can hit that shot again. Or if you hit one long putt and you read the greens right, you hit that one long putt and that bad boy curves and does what it's supposed to do and drops in the bottom of that cup. Oh, you want that feeling all over again. You'll be out there paying a whole bunch of money for a golf cart, some clubs, some shoes, some gear, and hanging with your friends. I used to play with my frat brothers, man. I had a couple of frat brothers that could hit it pretty good. And I'd get out there with them. And, man, we'd have a good time. We would have a good time. Is it Troy Mullins? Willie, is that right? Hold on, man. You got me finna look now. You got me get ready to look. Hold on. Is that it? Troy. If that's it. That's it. Willie Gibson, it's your show from now on, bro. Will Knows is the name of this show from now on. The lunch break with Will Knows. Willie, you call in every day, and I'll be your engineer, and it's your show. Troy Mullins, man. And she didn't play golf in college. Troy Mullins is a world long drive competitor from Los Angeles. She competes in events that are sanctioned by the World Long Drive Association, which is owned by the Golf Channel and part of the NBC Sports Group. Let's see. Hold on. Before long drive, here we go. Prior to competing in World Long Drive, Mullins was a heptathlete, competing in track and field at Cornell University. And she competed in the 200-meter, 800-meter, 100-meter hurdles, high jump, long jump, shot put, and javelin. And she qualified for her first World Long Drive Championship in 2012 after picking up the game in 2008. So what are you saying, AJ? There's hope for me yet. There's hope for me yet. Man, don't let me start hitting that thing long and right. You know me, I'll be out there trying to do too much. Troy Mullins, Willie, it's your show, bro. You win the whole internet today. I'm getting ready to go call my attorney. We're finna change the name of the show. Will Knows with Willie Gibson and engineer AJ. Can I be the producer? Because this your stuff, bro. So Shalonda, do you know Troy Mullins? Let me see where she at. I'm trying to, man, if she didn't have a day job, I would call her on the air like I did Aki Davis. We should start doing that. We should have a segment where I just call people on the air randomly. And if they don't say bad words on the Christian station, I might give them a gift certificate from the barbecue joint. Yeah. Dickie's Smoke Pit Barbecue. Hey, do you know Troy Mullins? I want to get her on the show. Because, man, I'm a fan. I am a fan. All right, some other people have hit me up. Kimberly Negrete. Okay, Valencia King has confirmed for Friday. So I'm looking forward to talking about the Dallas Mavericks on Friday, possibly putting the Clippers, the paper clips in a 3-on hold. So anyway, I'm really ready to go. I can't go before I give you all this information. The Reese's Senior Bowl, in collaboration with the NFL, will hold the HBCU, Historically Black Colleges and Universities, Combine in Mobile, and they will select players from 4 HBCU conferences: the CIAA, the MEAC, the SIAC, and the SWAC, and other HBCU institutions will be invited to participate in the event. It'll be held at the University of South Alabama, and it'll be patterned after the NFL Combine. The HBCU Combine will include the gathering of comprehensive medical information, interviews, and on-field evaluation for football skills and acumen. Last year's event, announced in February 2020, was postponed due to COVID-19. So the 73rd annual Reese's Senior Bowl will kick off on Saturday, February the 5th at 1:30 Central at the stadium, and then the Combine will take place that weekend. Representatives for all 32 schools, 32 NFL teams will be at that Senior Bowl and will be at that Combine. Now, I'll just tell you, I don't like the whole Combine concept. I don't. But I like the fact that if they're doing it for the other schools, they're going to do it for the HBCUs. I like that. Thank you, Reese's. You're going to make me go out and buy me a pack of Reese's Pieces or something. I like those Reese's Cups, man. I like those. And then, they have the Easter egg version, and then they have the holiday versions of them. But they're going to make me go out and buy a few packs of those because they're doing the right thing, looking out for the HBCUs. So, again, that's going to be happening courtesy of Reese's Senior Bowl and the NFL. HBCU Combine is going to be that week of February the 5th. So there you go. Try and get me some tickets to go down. I know who's going to be there already. I'm talking about none other than oh, man, now wait a minute. Now see, I just asked Shalonda Dawkins if she knew Troy Mullins. And the reply back is not personally, but I know who she is. Let me guess. You have a crush. All guys do. No! I'm trying to get her on my show. Hold on, man. I'm calling people on the air from now on. That's funny. I'm typing it as a guest on my show. Come on, man. I stay in trouble, man. How come I can't stay out of trouble? I can't do right for doing wrong. That's what my mama used to say. Boy, you can't do right for doing wrong. Yes, ma'am. All right, let me get Sybil Wilkes on here. Let me get ready to wrap this up. It's been a fun show. Thank y'all for hanging out with me on Winning Wednesday. And for Brad Stevens, it was woulda, coulda, shoulda Wednesday, because if he would have had Jaylen Brown, he shoulda and coulda won, even though they lost by 22. Tonight, don't forget, you've got the Washington at Philly at 6, Atlanta at the Knicks at 6:30 Central, and then Memphis at Utah tonight at 9. Let me tell you who I got. I've got Philly in the early game. I've got the Knicks in the middle game, and I'm going with Memphis again in the late game. I think Memphis is getting ready to do to Utah what Dallas is doing to the Clippers, the paper clips. That's what I think. Just my thoughts. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. All right, listen. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. Give you the best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday. Sybil Wilkes, What You Need to Know is coming up. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Listen, wash your hands like you're supposed to. Wear your mask where you are supposed to, and give people their 6 feet. And when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person or the people, but the racism. Don't laugh about it. Don't joke about it. Don't carry it. Just stop it, okay? All right, talk to y'all tomorrow.
It's Sybil Wilkes with What You Need to Know. Today is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Number 1. Black women continue forging historic paths this week. Following Tuesday's confirmation by the U.S. Senate, Attorney Kristen Clarke will become the first Black woman to lead the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department. In addition, Judge Robin Ransom will become the first African-American woman to sit on the state of Missouri's highest court, following the Monday appointment of Missouri Governor Mark Parson. Number 2. This week, lawmakers in Texas approved a bill that will allow residents to carry handguns without licenses. Republican Governor Greg Abbott poised to sign the so-called permitless carry bill, which would grant gun ownership to people 21 and older beginning later this year. GOP lawmakers in the state say the law is needed because requiring a handgun license infringes on Texans' Second Amendment right. Law enforcement officials, gun control groups, and Democrats have opposed the bill, arguing that it would eliminate crucial safeguards from the gun buying process, endanger the public, and make police officers' jobs more dangerous. Number 3. Vaccine safety investigators are studying cases of heart muscle inflammation in young people in multiple countries who have recently received their second dose of one of the COVID-19 vaccines. According to the CDC, the disease known as myocarditis is rare given the number of vaccine doses that have been administered. Several dozen cases have been reported in the U.S. among adolescents, most of them males, and usually after the second dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. Number 4. NBA legend Dominique Wilkins has experienced discrimination at a restaurant in the city he represents, and now the establishment is apologizing. The 9-time NBA All-Star Dominique Wilkins, who played for the Atlanta Hawks, recently refused service at Le Bilboquet, an upscale French restaurant in Atlanta's Buckhead area. Mr. Wilkins claims staff told him that tables were unavailable, he needed a reservation, and his clothes were inappropriate for the restaurant's dress code policy. Since the incident, the restaurant posted and deleted a detailed dress code policy on Twitter and then sent an apology to Mr. Wilkins. Number 5. Many millennials are forgoing starter homes and instead buying art. In the last 2 years, 22 to 37-year-old adults bought almost half of the artwork priced at $1 million or more, according to a new art market report by Art Basel and UBS. The purchasing power of these young collectors helped to boost the global art market to the second highest level in a decade. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Not every battle is meant to be fought. Inhale that fresh oxygen. Exhale carbon dioxide. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook.
1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CS Houston. Are you ready?
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed that one, man. I had a lot of fun. Y'all are a lot of fun. Greatest called me out even before the show got started. I answered the phone, and I heard, come on, chump. Listen, I love y'all so much, man. Stick with me. About to make some changes. I think they're going to be good ones. So y'all have been the foundation of the show. We'll keep it going. and try and make it even better. So again, not this, definitely this. Y'all have a blessed rest of your Wednesday.